My medium-term price targets for Bitfarms are... Alright, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom. This is not financial advice. We're here to talk about all things investing. And today I wanted to get a quick emergency video out regarding Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. So we will be looking at the Bitcoin chart, talking about today's price actions, looking at some levels and how that affects the Bitcoin miners on the short-term basis. I'm looking at some potential buying opportunities, but also I'm looking at Bitcoin just breaking through to the downside on a key level. So I want to go through that with everybody, and then let's see what we can make of it, and I'll tell you what I'm thinking about doing about it. So let's go. Okay, so this is the chart for Bitcoin. This is today's chart, and I have it on a 15-minute scale. So this is pretty close up. So if you see this here on August 20th was the day that we broke up above this $48,000 resistance. That was 4 days ago. Today's August 24th. We're in the middle of the trading day. And we've been holding that line. We kind of tested it here on the 21st, tested it again on the 22nd. And now, just in the last 15 minutes, you will see that we have crossed over this line of support. So this was our previous line of resistance. It had turned into support for a 4-day period here. We just now, in the last 15 minutes, crossed down under this. We got as low as, it looks like, around 47,700. It looks like, as we're speaking right now, we're back to around 48,000. So this is kind of a key moment for Bitcoin. If it can bounce back and hold this line, obviously there's a 15-minute candle that's gone below this line, but if we can close back above this 48,000 on at least the hourly candle, certainly the 4-hour candle, I think we will have retested this line and held. However, if we continue to the downside, there's a few points here that I have noted that I think are the next stops along the way. So you can see I've drawn two purple lines. Those represent the very short-term trading range that I think Bitcoin is in. This trading range has held back since August 6th. You can see we tested it a couple of times here on the upside and then on the downside, but we have held in between this trading range for a short period of time. So that would be my first point that I would look at. If we cannot hold this 48,000, and I will tell you, again, this is not financial advice. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know the future. I think we're going to hold this $48,000 line. I could be right. I could be wrong. So I want to prepare either way. If we don't, it looks to me like there's a spot down here at around 46,700. That's kind of the bottom of our trading range, and it's also a line of support. So I would be looking to see if we test either of those points. If so, it would be crucial to hold that point of support, because if not, we may be going back down to test 44,000 and 42,000. I don't think that's going to happen, but you guys know Bitcoin, it moves fast. So any of this, in my opinion, would be on a very short term, but it could present some buying opportunities. However, you don't want to buy in too soon if we're going to start retesting some lower numbers. I think 42,000 is the lowest Bitcoin is going to test in this cycle. I don't think it's actually ever even going to get there, but that's my low line on the chart. So I think we've kind of moved out of that range, and we'll be testing numbers more in the 48,000, 46,000, 44,000 range. That's my opinion. I guess we'll see what happens. So right now, even since we've been talking, Bitcoin has moved from 47,700 up to 48,188. So it looks like there's hope. We may be holding this line, but I don't want to call it because, again, Bitcoin moves fast. So from that, I just want to show you today's price action on some of the Bitcoin miners. I'm going to run down these really quickly. So you'll see Bitfarms is down 6.79% on the day. Hut 8 is down 3.9%. Marathon is down 2% on the day. Riot is actually up 1% on the day. They reported earnings after hours yesterday, and they beat on revenue and they beat on profit. So actually, even though today is a big down Bitcoin day, Riot is rallying today a little bit, up 1%. Bit Digital down 8%. Cleanspark is up 4.5%. That is also a different story. So I did a video on Cleanspark yesterday. If you want to know what's going on with Cleanspark, you can watch that video. There's a reason for this upward price action, even though Bitcoin is moving down right now. Hive blockchain is down about 2%. SOS is down less than 1%. I have two stocks that trade only on the Canadian exchange or over the counter here in the United States. And they are Argo Blockchain, which is down 6%, and DigiHost, which is down 4.5%. So I think there's a lot of stocks on this list that if we can hold this 48,000, represent a really good buying opportunity. I'm just going to go through a few of them as quick as I can so I can get this video out to you. Okay, this is Bitfarms. It's down 6.79% on the day. Now, I had drawn a line at $5.35, and as it just so happens, that is exactly what we're trading at right now as I'm speaking. I don't know. Obviously, we'll be at a different number by the time you're watching this. Now, the reason I drew that line is they reported earnings on August 16th after hours. So that is this point right here. So you can see they reported earnings and bam, they went down in a straight line. So they went down to about $5.35. They've held that line, although it's only been a week. They've held that line until today. It's really testing that line right here. And this is a 15-minute chart also. So I'm really zooming in here to show you that, you know, we're at 535 right now, which is this line, but we have dipped below it a couple of times today. So I would be looking for Bitfarms to hold this line. I am a buyer. I did buy today on Bitfarms. I think retesting this low was a great opportunity to buy in, but I will tell you, if this doesn't hold, I have another line at about $5. Now, it has not traded that low since August 6th, and that was prior to their earnings report. So I'm not anticipating that, but I would say I keep my eyes open, and if we don't hold $5.35, somewhere around $5 would be another point at which I would buy in. Again, these are my strike points. You guys are going to have to decide based on your dollar cost average and how many shares you have and how many shares you want as to what makes sense for you. But these are the spots that I'm looking at that for me represent buying opportunities. So on Bitfarms, I've already bought some today. Super quick, I just want to remind everybody, my medium-term price targets for Bitfarms are that $7.32 yellow line and that $8.50 yellow line. So those are my 2021 short-term price targets for Bitfarms. I will also be doing a Bitfarms video tomorrow to explain what is going on and why they're having some unusual downward pressure. Okay, so moving over to Hut 8. Hut 8 has kind of held a line here that we've tested a few times at $5.86. You'll see a blue line. We tested that on August 10th, again on August 18th, again on August 19th. We're actually nowhere near that line right now. I am waiting to see if we get back down and test that line again. So for me personally, my position is built out to the point where I'm not going to make another purchase unless we get down to $5.86. Having said that, I do think that, again, by the end of the year, I've drawn a blue line at $9. That is my short-term 2021 price target for Hut 8. I've drawn another yellow line at $10.50. That's a significant line. I'm more focused on the $9 as a more realistic high for this year for Hut 8. So again, for me, it's not quite in a buying zone yet, but depending on where your positions are, this is still nowhere near any of my target prices. So for Bit Digital, I have a line at $10. Bit Digital recently went through a massive, whether you want to call it a short squeeze or whatever you want, this went from $4 to $20 in the better part of a week. It has pulled way back since then. I have been waiting for this $10 price point. Well, I called it close enough today and I bought in. $10 was my first target price, and you'll see I have another line at about $8.50. If it breaks through and gets down to that, depending on what Bitcoin does, I will be buying some more at the $8.50 range. I'm hoping that it holds that line, because if it goes below there, I don't see a lot of lines of support. So I'll be buying at $10. I'll be buying at $8.50 if it gets there. If it goes below there, I guess I'm going to have to reassess. I will not be selling unless something fundamentally changes that makes me change my mind. Last chart I want to go through is CleanSpark. As we're speaking, CleanSpark's trading at about $13.22, and you'll see CleanSpark also announced earnings on August 16th, and it also went down huge in a straight line. As an aside, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you never miss a video. So this went down to around $11. It got as low as $10.44. It quickly rallied back up to this $12 line that I have drawn here, kind of came back down and retested, went sideways, and then it gapped up through this $12 line, and it's been above that ever since. So this line is actually just yesterday, and this is basically today. So you can see we're having an update after update, even though Bitcoin is having a down day at the moment. So CleanSpark is another one where I did a video on that yesterday, and as I mentioned earlier, that has its own trajectory. People massively overreacted to the earnings call. I go through that in detail in my previous video and explain exactly what I think happened and where I think it's going from here. As expected, this is having a couple of very good days. I expect that to continue. I also expect Bitcoin to hold at 48,000. So again, if Bitcoin can't hold at 48 and it breaks to the downside, these are the few spots that I'm looking at as buying opportunities. I have filled out my position in CleanSpark, so I will not be buying any more CleanSpark. I will be holding mine because I do believe that this line here at $15.68 is just a short-term price target for me, and then I have it going way up from there. But again, this is not financial advice. I don't have a crystal ball. I do my research, I do my due diligence, and this is what I think. So hopefully this will help you guys as you do your due diligence and as you're trading the Bitcoin mining stocks. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.